Hello citizens of Tokusatsu Central, I'm Jared Rand, and today I'm going to bring you the review of the DX Sclash driver. Or Squash driver, depending on what you want to call it. But this right here is basically the upgrade belt for Kamen Rider Cross Z, and the transformation belt for Kamen Rider Grease. Of course, it can work with regular full bottles, but we'll get into that later in the review. So, let's just get right into it. By the way, I do have the Crocodile Crack full bottle coming in the mail. Hopefully that'll come soon. And of course I have the Hazard Trigger coming. So, yeah. So here's everything you get in the set. The Sclash driver, the Dragon Sclash Jelly, and the Robot Sclash Jelly. So, yeah, now let's get into everything that's included in the set. Besides, let's just look at the Sclash Jellies first. So here are the two Sclash Jellies in the set. So using Dragon as an example, this is basically what a Sclash Jelly is. You have this thing right here that is, basically if you take off the packet itself, would work like a normal full bottle in the build driver. But it has this big protruding baggie on it, which is basically the jelly part of it. There's a sponge inside, and when you squeeze it like that, it will, come back out and reform into its original shape. And there will become creases on the toy. Creases will appear, I promise. Of course, the usual build cap, this time done in blue for the Dragon Jelly. Of course, with the normal build logo on there. And then the Dragon logo on there with a bit of orange on it. Orange Sclash Jelly. So getting this guy out of the way, here we have the Robot Sclash Jelly. Same sort of design, but this time the cap is done in black, and the robot symbol is on there with sort of more straight edges all over it. Robot Sclash Jelly, and this is what is used to transform into Kamen Rider Grease. So while this is sort of like juice, this right here is supposed to be like oil, because oil and evilness and such. So, yeah, with these out of the way, we can just move straight on to the Sclash driver. So here we have the Sclash driver itself, basically designed to look like a trash compactor with these two chrome bits, sort of chrome translucent bits, closing in as you tighten the wrench. Right there. A tube where the juice from the Sclash Jelly will go in. It'll go into there, and then in the show, it basically fills up with juice in there. On the side, you have the translucent red button that does absolutely nothing. And then the back, just your standard stuff. On the bottom, you have the on and off switch. And thankfully, unlike Shukun Shinobi, I have mine turned off. Speaker right there. Takes about 3 AAA batteries. So, now it's coming off as more of a purple, but it's actually a white. So, yeah, and then the belt strap is just your typical gray and blue Ghost Driver mold. So, let's just take our Sclash Jelly, pull across Z, betray your best friend, and transform. And just pull the wrench down. So, Dragon and Cross Charge. Brrrah. And those beginning words were crush, flow, overflow. So, yeah. I actually like that transformation tune more than Cross Charge's regular tune. So, you pull this another time and you get the Scrap Break. So, yeah. Now on to Grease. Robot Jelly, of course. Robot in Grease. Now for the scrap finish. Now, this thing does have compatibility with full bottles, but only in the way that it reads organic and inorganic full bottles. So what better set to use it with than, of course, Hawk frickin' Gatling. So, yeah, let's just use these guys. So, first Hawk, because this one's actually used with Cross Z in the show. Charge bottle. It is not crushed. It said it is not crushed. Discharge or charge finish. So it reads all organic ones as charge bottles, and then the inorganic ones as discharge bottles. So now that we're done with that, we can get right into my final thoughts. So overall, the Sclash driver is actually a pretty good toy on its own, and with the crocodile crack full bottle. Of course, yeah, it is a little bit limited considering that you're only getting 2 bottles with the actual set, but it has a lot more playability than the build driver does on its own. The build driver has a lot more playability when you consider all of the other toys in the line, but this still has a decent amount to where if you're just going to buy one toy from the build line, I'd recommend this because, once again, it works on its own and doesn't need anything else in the toy line to continue its playability and everything else in the set. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video that much, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment if you want to ask any questions about the actual toy. Jesus! Oh my goodness. As I was saying before, a frickin' fly came in and I had to hit my phone down to kill it. Like if you enjoyed the video that much, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment if you want to ask any questions about the actual toy. You can check out my Instagram, Rand.Jared, and of course check out my other YouTube channel, Jared the Collector New. And I will see my fellow citizens of Tokusatsu Central next time when I review the DX Go Busters Morphin Brace.